Hey, so today what I want us to do for math is kind of like a math art project. We are going to be making city arrays, and city arrays are going to be making the windows of a skyscraper. I'm going to actually even pull the skyscraper up because you guys know what they are, but you might not. So they're all over downtown Oakland, San Francisco, but I just want to give you just a picture idea. So skyscrapers are the big, tall buildings that you see in the city, and we have them here in downtown Oakland. So we're going to be making like a city background. We're going to have the buildings with the windows and a sky. So for me, my sky is going to be black paper because I want to make it look like nighttime, because one of my favorite times to look at the city is when it's all lit up. So I'm going to kind of imagine that it's like lit up with stars and a moon. So I chose black paper, but if you want your sky to be like a really sunny day, choose blue paper and make that. Or if you want your background to look like the sun setting, maybe you want it to be pink or orange paper as well. So be creative with what your background is going to be, but mine's going to be night. And then what you're going to need is pieces of paper that are cut in different shapes. So you, in your art bags that you picked up at Horace Mann, have construction paper. I have 2 pieces of black construction paper, and then I took some blue construction paper and I just kind of cut it into pieces. So I took on one that's kind of a bigger piece, and then I cut a green piece that's kind of smaller, because skyscraper buildings are not all the same size. So I have some that are bigger, some that are smaller. Here's an even smaller green, and here's a little bit bigger green. So they're just different sizes. And then what I did was I cut up more construction paper into little squares. So here's my little purple squares. I have some even smaller little green squares, and these are going to be my windows for my building. So you want them to be smaller, green. And then I also cut up some yellow squares. So I have a little pile of them right here. Here's my pile of purple. You can see just how many of them I cut. Okay, so then what I want you to do is take your one of your buildings, one of your rectangular shapes, and you're going to glue your little squares on there to kind of look like the windows of a building. So you could see that these look like the windows of this city skyscraper, but I made it into an array. So this is 2 in each row, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So I have 7 rows of 2, and that's my first city building. My next one, I made the windows a little smaller, and I did rows of with 4 in them, and I did 6 rows of 4. So my next array is 6 times 4. Oh, and by the way, this one, 7 times 2. And then I made an array with even bigger windows, and I did rows of 3 and 3 rows of 3. So this is 3 times 3, 9 windows. And then my last city building, these are kind of skinnier. I did rows of 3 again, but this time I did 4 rows. So it's 3 times 4, it's 12 windows. Okay, so I have my 4 buildings, all with different array designs. And be creative. Big windows, small windows, up to you, just how big you want to make it. So then I'm going to take my 2 pieces of paper. And the first one along the long side. So think of it kind of like a hot dog, not like a hamburger. That's where it's stacked. We want it sideways, so it's long, like a hot dog. And I'm going to put some little bit of glue right here. I'll show you. Just one little line of glue. Like so, just along the bottom. And I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to put it along that line just enough to cover that little line of glue. Maybe you have bigger paper, but this is my way of making a bigger piece of paper. I glued it in right there, and then I made a nice big background. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just line my cities up. Maybe I'll tape my background so you guys can see to this board. Okay. There you go. Better. So I'm going to just line my city pieces up. I'm going to put one building right here. I put glue all around the sides just so it sticks without falling off. Okay. Press that down. Okay, there's one. I'll put a green one next to it like that, I think. And this is a little smaller building right there. Press that down. And I'll put another bigger building next to it so they're not all just on the outside. So same thing, I just put the glue around the border. Hold that down right there. Press that on. Okay. My last one. Actually, just let it go under this one, I think. And that doesn't perfectly fit on the page, but that's okay. Okay. So here is my city. Here's my downtown skyscrapers. You can see all of my arrays are visible. Now, I am going to need a white crown, which I forgot to grab. Okay. I'm choosing a white crown because I used a black background, but maybe if you used light blue, you might want a darker crown. But since I chose a white background, I'm going to write the multiplication arrays right above. So this is 7 rows with 2 in them. So I'm going to put 7 times 2 equals 14. I'm going to go down to this one. It's 3 rows and 3 in each row. So 3 times 3 equals 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows with 4 in them. So 6 rows with 4 in each row makes 24. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 in each row. So I'm going to write this one kind of sideways. 4 rows of 3 make 12. So mine had to go a little crooked. That's okay. So then you did, I'm going to put the title, City Arrays. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for your arrays on your buildings, and I'm looking for the equations in the title. Ooh, and your name. Don't forget that. But now you could just have fun with it. You might want to add some stars. Mine's nighttime. Maybe if yours is daytime, you're going to add clouds instead. And that's what's fun about using colored paper is you get to add things like clouds. We're using white paper, it wouldn't work. I'm going to see if maybe I can make a yellow moon. Black might be too hard. But let's see. Oh, you can kind of see it. So I'll color that in. Maybe I'll put a little white on it so I can see it a little better. But yeah, at this point, I'm just having fun. I'm trying to just make, maybe I'll put a little cloud here, a little cloud here, a little cloud here. Nice. And here is my city array. I made 4 buildings. I wrote 4 multiplication equations in my title, and then I just made it pretty. So it's now your turn. I would like you to make 4 city skyscrapers. That means 4 different arrays using the construction paper from the art bag you picked up at Horseman, or maybe you have different paper, that's okay, but color paper is more fun. If not, use white paper and then just color in the boxes. That's fine too. And then you need little squares or coloring in little squares. And then make sure you put 2 pieces together so that your project is bigger. It's not as fun when you're making a smaller one. Let's make a nice big city array. Well, that's all. I'm excited to see your work. Please make sure to take a picture and send it to me or upload it on Seesaw.